What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another video. This is going to be part 2 of reviewing my dad's albums in his CD collection. So, this is our second album. If you didn't see the first video, you can go watch it if you want. But this one is Soulfly, the debut studio album, debut self-titled from Soulfly, released in 1998. So, Soulfly, well, I guess let's look at the cover first. There's not much going on. He's kind of standing there, T-posing over some water and stuff. Pretty cool. I heard this album's, I'm pretty sure it's actually dedicated to somebody who died in his life, and they were, killed. So, I think that's pretty cool. You got the back, you got some, tribal type things over here. One thing that's really cool about this band is that they actually incorporate a lot of elements from their culture. So cultural instruments and cultural sounding dudes that literally hop on the songs. It's very unique. They're a very unique nu metal band. This is a nu metal album, if I haven't said that already. But yeah, 15 tracks here. Pretty cool. Basically, though, this is a nu metal album from a nu metal band, and this band started whenever Max Cavalera, I think that's how you say his name, from Sepultura, left to go make his own band because he wanted to explore more nu metal sounds. So, it's basically how the band was created. This, I would say, is one of the heaviest nu metal bands or albums, because nu metal is not that heavy, and I obviously don't listen to much nu metal anymore. There's a couple people, but it's very rare now, because, that's the starting thing. Everybody starts at nu metal, it's not that heavy. This is one of the heaviest nu metal bands, in my opinion. Up there with, Mudvayne and, Slipknot and stuff. So, yeah. Enough yapping. Let's get into the tracks. So, track number 1, we've got Eye for an Eye. I think this song is perfect. It encapsulates everything I love about the band. You've got the fucking, manic, caveman-like style and his great caveman-like voice as well, with all of the, indigenous instruments. Not indigenous, I don't know if that's the right word. Cultural. And if I didn't mention this already, they are Brazilian. That's their culture. They're from Brazil. Brazilian thrash metal, nu metal, groove metal guys. So, pretty cool. But yeah, great, amazing opener. Then it goes into No Hope, No Fear, which I think is just as solid. I think the first 3 tracks are honestly, close to perfect. No Hope, No Fear, super heavy nu metal riff, great vocals, and then the last half of that song is literally just, them going crazy on a bunch of, cultural, instruments and stuff. There's this thing that's and that's just, off in the background and, zoning out with, drums and stuff. It's weird, bro, but it's fire. And then going into track 3, Bleed, which is just the stereotypical, nu metal banger. I mean, this thing has Fred Durst, the lead singer of, or the frontman of Limp Bizkit, another nu metal band, not that great in my opinion. His verse is okay as well, but I feel like it's aged kind of well because it's just kind of the nu metal thing. That's just what it's about, bro. But yeah, more not crazy experimentation, crazy instruments in here. And also that hook, just Blade, and having Limp Bizkit and Max Cavalera do it together. Great song. Track number 4 on the album, Tribe. This one has a, tribal chant in the beginning of it, which I think is pretty cool. And he also does, some Korn vocal stuff with, the I don't even know what he's saying. It's just, some gibberish shit, bro. Just some more nu metal stuff, That goes into Bumba, which is not one of my favorite tracks. Doesn't have too much going on. I think that's still a good song, though. And then the next track, First Commandment, has vocals from Chino Moreno off of Deftones, which I'm actually wearing a Deftones shirt right now, you know. Yeah, he does like some whispering in the background and like some weird vocals. That track is about, I'm pretty sure that's the track that's about somebody like killing one of his friends or somebody in his family or something like that. So that song's got some lore to it. That goes into the Soulfly interlude, which just has some basic drumming, some acoustic playing, kind of just like a little jam, you know. And then that goes into Umbabararuma or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Umbabararuma. I'm trying to think about how he says it, but basically the whole song is in his native language. I don't know what they're saying, so I looked it up, and apparently it's actually about like playing a sport, specifically I think soccer. So, you know, decent track. I don't listen to it that much, but it's alright. Then that goes into Quilombo, which I don't really care too much for. His flow on there is like not that good, you know. Some about slave man and stuff like that. The next track is Fire. This song is pretty simple, pretty basic, but brings some high energy, and I think it's a great addition to the track list. This goes into a song that blows it out of the water, though. The song remains insane. This is one of my favorite Soulfly songs. One of my favorite songs off of the album. I mean, it is just crazy. Like, this is easily the craziest song. This song remains insane, insane, insane. There's like a blast beat in the background. It's giving off more like thrash energy than like nu metal. Very heavy. Great track right there. Then the next track, No, is kind of in the same vein as Fire, where kind of simple song structure, but pretty heavy, so enjoyable track. Prejudice is a track that has multiple people from his culture, like Brazilian people who are just like on the song, or like indigenous, whatever, bro. I don't even know, but they do some pretty cool stuff on there, you know. Super heavy song though. Prejudice! Prejudice! That's hard. And then the last song, Carmageddon, kind of just like an outro track with some tribal stuff, just some instrumentals and like just tribal jiggy things. I don't know. So yeah, that's the album right there. Overall, one of my, probably in my top 10 nu metal albums of all time. Great project, very unique sounding for the, you know, genre that it's in. Very heavy. I would give this thing an 8.2 out of 10. I don't think there's like a middle portion that has a couple songs that I think are like pretty good, but other than that, like the first 4 songs and then the last 4 songs are amazing or great. And then, you know, but overall, great album. Definitely check it out if you like nu metal and if you like heavier nu metal. But yeah, that's the ranking. So I'll see y'all in the next video whenever I rate something else or do something else.